It's official!
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Legally Unapologetic. I am your host, Octavia Green, and I'm so excited about today's episode. Today, we're talking goals. And not only are we talking goals, but we're talking about the importance of setting goals and staying true to your goals, despite the fact that sometimes life is chaotic. Personal life, professional life, whatever it may be, sometimes we're easily distracted and taken away from what it is that we really want to do. Today's guest will be a life coach and someone that specializes in teaching her clients how to reach and obtain their goals. Now, I know it's not easy, guys. Trust me, I was there. Working as a professional in a law firm, I got away from my goals. I literally lost sight of what it was that I wanted to do. And that also contributed to my burnout because I was moving at 100 miles per hour, making sure that I was actually helping someone else achieve their goals, servicing their clients, working on matters that were important to them, that I lost sight of what it was that Octavia wanted to do. This episode is meant to encourage you guys, help you find ways and tips to stay true to yourself, check in with yourself, hold yourself accountable, and make sure that whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's professionally or personally, you are able to achieve your goals. We are all goal getters. In today's episode, I hope that you take away just that. Stay true to yourself and make sure that whatever it is that you want to do, you are carving out some time for you to do just that. Without further ado, welcome to another episode of Legally Unapologetic. Welcome to another episode of Legally Unapologetic. I am your host, Octavia Green. And today, guys, I am so excited about this topic, about this guest. She is a kick-ass mom, wife, businesswoman, entrepreneur, life coach, but also my pod sister, Sandy B. She is the host of 90 Day Wins. That's right, 90 Day Wins. Go ahead and look for that right now. But she's decided to come, and she's agreed to come, rather, on the show today to talk about just that. How do we get wins and set goals for ourselves despite the craziness that is life? So let's do it. Sandy B, please introduce yourself to the people.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here on the Legally Unapologetic podcast. Octavia, I am so excited to see and to be a part of this journey you have embarked on.
Thank you, sis.
For me, I am encouraged by people who are taking action for their goals. They decide whatever it is they want to achieve, and then they do the work for it. So you're putting in the work here.
Thank you. And look, guys, like, just quick story. I like to start every episode just discussing how I met an individual. Sandy B and I, we're pod sisters, yes, but we've known each other probably, like a month now. And I'm not saying that to be funny, but it's true. Like, we went to Podfest.
Yes.
We, immediately linked up. It wasn't because there was only 5 Black people, but maybe that was part of the reason. But another reason is because, energies, they don't lie.
Yes.
And even at Podfest, her and a couple of our other friends, and now pod sisters, they kind of embraced me, and they embraced the fact that I was starting my journey, right? Yeah. So now she's seeing the background, she's seeing, where I'm shooting, she's seeing the images, and she's seeing the content that I'm creating for you guys. And she's also behind the scenes as far as helping me with some of my editing and things of that nature. So I applaud you. Thank you so much for, allowing me to embark on this journey with you, right? Because you said you're proud, but I'm also happy and thankful that I have people like you in my life to help me get through it.
I love it. I feel, and I told you this, when I started my podcast, 3 years ago now, I had people that I prayed for that were pouring into me. So it is my pleasure to be able to help you because I love podcasting. I think it's so important that we are able to use our voice, and especially as Black women who have experienced some things and can encourage others coming up to keep going, to keep believing in themselves, to know that there is something greater in them. So I'm excited.
Hey, look, well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And we're excited too because I think you just hit on what we're going to talk about today, right? So tell the people 90 Day Wins. Talk about it. Talk about it.
So 90 Day Wins is my baby. It was birthed in me being in corporate.
Yes.
I am a corporate accountant. That's what I went to school for. I have a master's in accounting. And so I have been able to work with different teams and encourage them to achieve goals every 90 days. So when you think of a corporate publicly held company, they have 90 days to report to the public. And so we would hit all these goals every 90 days, my team. And so I thought, if I could do this at work, what if I tried this at home? What if I encourage my friends and family to do the same? And so that's exactly what we did. Every 90 days, we talked and we planned for what we wanted to accomplish, and then we put in the work. We would meet weekly to talk about our progress. And something amazing happened. Everyone was calling me, telling me about their wins, big or small wins, who lost weight, who got a new job, who met a spouse. When you decide that you are clear about what you desire to achieve and you put in the work for it, you can achieve your wins.
I like that. So that's interesting, right? Because you know my background, right? And you know, Legally Unapologetic, it's a place where, you know, I'm going to say Black professionals, but mainly lawyers can come and actually share their shared experiences and their perspectives.
Yes.
To me, it sounds great.
Yeah.
But when you are so inundated in the everyday life and the everyday grind that is big law or corporate America, it's really hard to set goals for yourself outside of what's on your desk.
Definitely.
So let's talk about that, you know, as a life coach, right? Let's share some tips as to how you can still look forward to those goals. You should still set those goals, whether it's professionally or personally. But what are some ways that people can realistically set goals for themselves and work towards achieving them despite the chaos that is work?
Thank you for that question, because it's very important that we are honest with ourselves. I tell my clients, we start with a vision. What do you desire? And sometimes that question is the hardest question for someone to ask, because of the things that you just mentioned, right? You are so focused, you have been driven, you went to school, you worked really hard for this career, you put in work, and now you have to focus on yourself. And you really have to ask yourself, what do I desire? Because we can get caught up with believing that we are this particular thing. I am an accountant, so I can only be this, you know?
Speak on it.
And it's understanding, I wrote this in my book because I needed to ignite the fire within and then encourage others to do the same. And so when you sit down with yourself and you're honest with yourself, what do I desire? What do I enjoy? What do I see myself doing in the next 5 to 10 years? You can take the time to think about what you truly desire, and then think about the people that are going to help you get there. Think about the people you need to meet. You may not know them, but you are intentional about, I'm going to meet this lawyer that's going to help me with this. I'm going to meet this accountant who's going to help me with this. I'm going to meet this podcaster that's going to help me so I can move forward on achieving my goal on starting a podcast.
Makes sense.
And all those things I've done, I've prayed for. It's like, we have to be real about what we want, because guess what? Our jobs are real about what they want us to do.
Hey, say it again for the people. Say it again. And
they have it all outlined for us, right?
But that's so important, because you know a little bit about my journey. My listeners know about my journey. One of the biggest reasons I had to step back, I lost sight of what it was that I wanted to do. So when you talk about setting those goals for yourself, I felt like I was just going through the motion.
That's it.
Each and every day.
That's it.
And when you asked me, it's kind of ironic because I did have a colleague, probably about now at this point 3 years ago.
Okay.
OMG, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't answer. Because in my mind, I'm like, I just want to get to the end of the week. you over here talking about 5 years. Yeah, I want to get to the end of the week because I'm drowning. I'm suffocating. So, setting goals, yes. We all do it, vision boards, things of that nature. But then I think a bigger piece is holding yourself accountable.
That's it. That's why I say these weekly calls with trusted advisors. I speak with my clients. I have them text me because I don't want you spinning your wheels when you could just have a 15-minute conversation and that will allow for you to take action. One of my clients, he's doing some international work and he missed a very important deadline. And so he had spiraled very quickly. Oh, I didn't do this right. I'm not good enough. All the things that we negatively tell ourselves.
Right.
And so we had to talk about, well, has that helped you? Has that beaten yourself up, telling yourself you're not good enough? All it's done is allowed you to not take action. How about you pick up the phone? You can call that person.
Right.
That person can help you. Long story short, called the person, was able to take care of what he needed to take care of. He's working with some international clients, so there's some challenges there, but he was able to move forward.
Right.
It's like we can spend time giving ourselves grief about what we're not doing, or we can take action. I talk a lot about procrastination because a lot of time that mindset that we allow ourselves to get in will hinder us from moving forward.
That is very true.
So it's really, really important when you decide you are going on this journey. You created this vision, you know where you're going, you know the players and the people you need to talk to. Then you have to set the schedule the same way you put in that energy to make sure you get to work on time, you get those deadlines met. That's why I told you it was birthed from work because I was hitting all their deadlines.
Right.
What about what Sandra desired?
And that's real.
And so when I took the time to say, I am important, if that means I didn't watch a TV show because I needed to spend some time with myself during that 5 to 9 hour where I've come home from work, I'm tired, but I still got to pour into 90-day wins because I believe in 90-day wins. Right. So I'm doing podcast interviews, I'm editing in the evening, all the things because I believe in this. And what a sense of joy you feel when you know you put in the work for that 9 to 5, but you also put in the work for what you truly desire.
That part.
And then you find time, right? At lunch, you're not going to talk with your colleagues because it's like an hour. I can edit that episode in an hour. I can make these calls. I can schedule meetings.
Right.
You can be so efficient in an hour if you
true.
choose to be. You get up a little earlier because it's important for me to win the day by working out. That's one of the things. If I work out before 9 o'clock, I am a winner.
Right.
You can't tell me nothing.
Hey, I love it. I love the energy.
Because I started, I told myself I matter. It's something about telling yourself and honoring what you said you would do for yourself. I'm going to commit to this. You get an accountability partner, whether it be a coach, whether it be a good girlfriend that's going to say, girlfriend, I knew you could do it. Or girlfriend, you're going down that road, but you told me you wanted this. Is this the right way you need to go?
Right.
Just so you can understand someone that cares about me is having me question my decision. Does this make sense? You know what? She's right. I don't need to be going down here because I said I wanted to do this. So it's good to have that accountability.
And I like that. And I think that, thank you for sharing that because I think more of us need to hear that.
Yeah.
And just listening to you, it's also sounding like, you can't be afraid to set boundaries.
No, man.
Right? And I get it, guys. We are in a very hard profession.
Yeah.
A lot of times our time is not our own, but sometimes we have to make our time our own. So to Sandy B's point, if church is important to you on Sundays, you set that standard. You let your superiors know, look, from 9 a.m., we Black. From 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., I'm in church. I'm in church. And the way it works, we going to have church. We're going to have lunch. Then we're going to praise again. That's just what it is. But you have to be able to set those boundaries. I know when I was working and I got to a certain point, to your point, fitness is very important to me. 6:30 on a Tuesday or Thursday, my superiors knew that I was going to kickboxing. You know, I may have been putting their pictures out and taking it and putting it on the bag, but I was going to kickboxing, right? Because I needed that moment.
Yes.
But on the flip side, the same way you take those 2 hours for yourself, you put those 2 hours back.
Yeah.
So maybe that means you're staying up a little bit later and you're working 2 extra hours at the tail end. But how great it would feel to know that I got those workouts in 2 to 3 times a week. I'm sane. I feel good. And look, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but when I look good, I perform good.
Totally,
you know, and I feel good. It's all, you know, a cohesive unit over here.
One other thing I found that's helpful to me is I have to teach people how to treat me. So when you just talked about making sure we schedule that time for our health or those things, you just said your bosses knew that that was important to you. So they respected that you had that time. I think sometimes we're afraid, sometimes, especially women in corporate settings, right? We have to be everything. We have to do everything. We have to coordinate this event and we have to do our jobs. We just take on all these different roles. And it's like, no, you don't have to do that.
Right.
Like you were tasked with this, you can do this and be okay.
Right.
If you choose to do those other things, that's fine. I used to be guilty of doing all the things, but then complain because then I didn't have time to do the other things I needed to do, right? So you have to set those boundaries. You have to know what's important to you. And then why are you doing it? What's your why? It's always important to think about what is my why, especially when you're editing and you're having a rough time and you can't get that split, you know.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, podcasting, but even, you know, even work life, right? If you're at work and it's like, what is your why? Why are you doing this? We have to treat the same way that we look at the why in our work setting. We have to look at it in our professional setting.
Totally.
Because I think you hit on it earlier and I wanted to circle back. We are not our job titles.
No.
Legally unapologetic, guys. You guys know what I'm trying to do. Law is what I do. It's not who I am. So understanding my why outside of the corporate space, outside of an office, outside of a billable hour is very, very important. And if you don't have that separation, who are you? And what are you?
That's what happens with a lot of people. You hear it all the time, where their identity is so wrapped up in what they do.
Right.
And I have some friends that they purposely, when they meet people, they don't ask them what they do.
I love that. I'm like that too, especially when I'm dating.
It's because they just want the person to be able to share who they are without saying, okay, I have this title or I belong to this organization. Just be real with who you are.
Authenticity, it goes a long way.
Definitely.
So,
definitely.
All right, so Sandy V, when you are not
yes
dropping gems and being the life coach and the kick-ass mom, wife, boss lady that you are, what do you do in your personal time?
What do I do in my personal time? I love to read. I love to listen to music. I love to get out in nature.
Okay.
So I find a way, if I can get by the water, that's always a win.
Amen.
So I love to just get out in nature. I really am in awe by God's handiwork.
Oh, nice.
I am never disappointed to just have some time to walk in the park. And here in Georgia, it's so beautiful. There's so many different parks. You can just get out on a trail and just look up. And I'm just enamored by nature. Like I'm enamored by trees and just how they withstand the storms of life. Like I'm just really into just thinking how they don't need to be told to grow. They just appreciate what God has given them and they use it to grow. So it's just, I just love being out in nature and just sharing time with my family. Family is amazingly important to me. So anytime I get to spend time with my teenager is a win for me. So that's really what I like to do. Just be outside, enjoy family, and have some fun while we're doing it.
Amen. Well, look, I like to hike too, so we'll have to add that to our list of things to do.
Definitely.
You know, I'm definitely out here trying to find as many trails as I possibly can because I'm new to Georgia, so maybe you could show me some things. So.
I will.
All right. So 90-day wins. What are some of the goals that you have for yourself in the next 90 days?
Yes. So this quarter, I'm working on, I live my life in quarters. So this quarter, I am launching season 6 of the 90-Day Win podcast. And we have a special quiz that's coming out this season that I'm super excited about. And I'm doing some procrastination groups that I'm putting together because so many people are, they are having a hard time kind of just overcoming procrastination.
Right.
So I have this procrastination roadmap that I've been working on some time. So it's important to me to continue to learn and grow. And so as I do these things each quarter, I'm making sure I'm staying up to date with things. So going to Podfest was a good help to give me some just gems. I am going to use my video this season.
Love it.
Which is a big thing. So I'm excited about that. And as I learn all the different bells and whistles and the softwares to learn, it's exciting.
Oh, yeah.
It feels as if I have just newfound creativity that I didn't know I had within me. So it's exciting to be with the Pod Sisters and friends and just learn from so many amazing creative people. So that's really what I'm working on this quarter. Just excited for season 2.
Okay.
Getting everything together with that. We got the quiz coming and the procrastination group coaching. So yeah, I'm keeping busy and having fun and getting on other podcasts. So
Hey,
it's
love
always
it.
a win.
Love it. All right. Well, I think for myself, right, 90 day wins, what does Octavia want in the next 90 days?
Yes.
So I think to obviously grow this platform, continue creating content and really, drive it home. I would like to have a presence or make a presence for Legally Unapologetic.
Yes.
So that is definitely a focal point for the next 90 days.
Yeah.
Personally, I just suffered personal loss in my personal life. So I think because of that, I feel like I have to spend some time with Octavia and step back. I give so much of myself to others that sometimes you lose yourself by doing that. So just, recheck in, re-energize, refocus, but really spend some time with her, love on her, appreciate her, and value her. So therefore, I'm a little bit more aware of when I'm doing those things and giving too much without receiving, right? So that is definitely another focal point. And then, we're just out here, continue meeting with my pod sisters, connecting, making vital connections here in Atlanta, get my name out there, growing my business, and we'll see what happens.
Well, it's going to be an exciting ride. I am excited to see all the things you're able to do with the podcast and the people you're going to meet because you're attracting good energy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So that's going to show in everything you do. So I'm excited.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Before we leave, do you have any key nuggets or words of wisdom for our listeners out there?
Sure. I would tell the listeners that you're going to go through obstacles and challenges, but you can be encouraged to achieve your wins. Believe in yourself. Make sure you're around people that edify you and encourage you, and take action daily. One step, something as simple as making your bed daily, making sure you're drinking water, something for you because you are important. You can get your wins, goal-getters.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Sandra B.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem.
So there you have it. I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to our guest, Sandy B. Sis, the insight that you shared, the perspectives that you shared, truly touched me, and I really hope that it touched our listeners out there. For those of you tuning in, what are some of the goals that you're going to set for yourself? Not just this week, but for the next 90 days. As Sandy B shared with us, we are all living in a chaotic life at times. In the same way that we hit these benchmarks, we check off goals and things that we need to do to advance ourselves, and these companies hold us accountable for doing so, we need to make sure that we're checking in with ourselves personally and making sure that we're holding ourselves accountable for the personal goals that we want to accomplish. I encourage you all to take a moment, sketch out some of your goals. And if you want to share, let us know what it is. Please feel free to follow us on IG, Legally Unapologetic, one word, or we're now on YouTube, or you can follow me on my personal page, OMG_ESQ. I hope you guys are staying true to yourself and staying true to your goals. Until next time, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Legally Unapologetic.